What's up, guys? It's your boy XC1 back at it again with another banger of a video. You know I like to do EX++ reward tracker trial videos on this channel, so let's jump into Farrah's. Now, I want to preface this video. I don't want to be super negative here, but there's a reason why they're adding a skip button, and you can't use your own equipment that you farmed in most of the content that's being added nowadays, and that's for people that spend copious amounts of money. I'm talking about, you know, your yearly rent in a month to just blitz through it and not think about what they're doing, because everybody would be on an even playing field with the equipment. But if you have higher rezos, then you're going to do more damage, more dividends, more damage. So let me show you why they want to remove manual and add a skip button to everything. This is a prime example why, because people will find out strategic ways to, you know, play the game, which is the way it should be played. Strategic ways to play the game. You have to actually think about what you're doing and not just press the skip button a bunch of times until you get a high score. So let's jump into that. Now, obviously, everybody's going to be on the same playing field here in terms of equipment because, like I said earlier, they want everybody to be on the same playing field as much as possible without people noticing. That's why they're adding a skip button and everything to every content. So as an instant dividends, people can just spend money and press the skip button without thinking what they're doing or playing the game manually. But let's not get too off topic here. Everybody's on an even playing field with equipment, so you just copy my equipment here and you should be good to go. Noticeable differences is that I have Young Chuan R4 and he's max abilimon, besides for his S1, which I only need one more, which doesn't matter. Obviously, if you have R4 Young Chuan, you will be doing more damage, but this is an EX++ tracker video, not a high score leaderboard tracker video, so all you need is 3.8 mil here. And if you have Ahmed R2, it'd be great because his attack buff would also give speed buff at that point. Jin P is necessary for this comp. I'm not sure what her rezos do, to be honest, but her S3 is necessary for this comp. Camille's free. You should have her by now. I don't have any skill ups in her, but her skill ups don't matter for this. Obviously, if you have skill ups for her, you will be doing slightly more damage, so you will be able to achieve 3.8 mil slightly easier. As I said again, even playing field here with the equipment. I don't have any divinates on my legendaries, as you can see here. Let's jump into the fight. So for this, Farrah will be going first, and if you read her kit, she inflicts freeze and speed down, and dispels buffs. So if you don't dispel this defense buff, the attack buff doesn't really matter for it. But if you don't dispel the defense buff and add speed down, just back out and leave because the RNG's messed up. Now, obviously, I applied speed down here and freeze, so I don't have to leave. We're just going to cycle S1 Ahmed here. Now we're going to get to the bread and butter of this team comp and why it matters and why you will get 3.8 mil if you copy my team. Well, not my team, but if you copy this team. So we're going to apply Dizzy Daze here. Dispels all buffs from the enemy, inflicts Dizzy Daze for 2 turns. Incapacitated. When taking a hit, grants Jin He AP plus 10%. So you can incapacitate this boss, obviously, because it's frozen. So we're going to do another incapacitation debuff here. Dizzy Daze instead of freezing. Also, Jin He's S3 gives a random 3-turn buff, by the way. 3 turns huge. A random 3-turn buff, attack speed up, crit rate up, or defense up. So obviously attack speed and crit rate up will be huge. So we're going to go ahead and S3 here. Again, this is the reason why it's bread and butter. It's got Dizzy Daze, so now it's incapacitated. It can't take a turn. Freeze is only for 1 turn. So it'll take a turn and debuff, and then it'll immune itself. It'll cleanse all of its debuffs, and then it'll immune itself. But if it's incapacitated with 2 turns debuff, and you use Camille's S1, we'll get into that in a second. As you can see here, extends all debuffs on the enemy by 1 turn. So this is, you set it up right here, and then you can auto until the last, well, depending on your resonances, you can auto a little bit, but to squeeze the maximum points out, you want to switch it to manual, which is what we're doing. We're manually setting it up. This is not possible with auto gameplay. It's not possible with the skip button gameplay. This is what they want to remove. They want to remove strategic elements from the game, but yeah, not trying to get too off topic. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and do that. So we apply Seer, a bunch of debuffs here, and instead of doing S2, we're going to go ahead and do an S1, and we extended all the buffs here. As you can see, went from 2 to 3, and now we're just going to feast. We're just going to feast. I'm just going to auto it just for the sake. Now, again, obviously, I have resonances and stuff, so you might not have the leeway to do this, but let's go ahead. And then I use Ahmed S3 after I use all my abilities there, so it reduces all the cooldowns by 1 turn on my teammates. Let me jump into the rest of the video here. as you can see here, we're easily coasting up to 3.8 mil EX++, so I wanted to go ahead and reiterate, not to be negative for the sake of being negative, but this is what they want to take away from you. Obviously, the skip button on rituals or whatever, it's fine, but when you're competing against other people, I mean, you compete against other people on rituals, but it's a different flavor of competing, I guess. But they just want to remove all that from you, and I don't like that, because I joined the game because it was strategic. I spent money on the game, so I mean, and I'm still trying to use my noggin. I'm not the smartest cookie, but you know, I try to use my noggin a little bit and help people out. So they want to remove that, and I don't like that, because you can't make content if the whole game's a menu skipping simulator. You can't make content because the whole game's a menu skipping simulator. You just press skip. But I don't know. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, keep note of the stage rule here. Young Chuan's not really 100% necessary because of the Camille and Jinhee interaction here, but obviously he does a lot of damage. I don't know who else you would substitute else. Probably Brewster maybe to shore up some damage, but he's at an elemental disadvantage. So yeah, not to ramble on longer than this video has to be. Hopefully you guys like that. Peace.